Back at it again, baby boys, baby girls. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another So production. It is Monday, June 20th, 2022. Holy smokes, it is flying by, baby girls, baby boys. We're doing it again. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, everybody. Go thank your dads if they're still around, because fathers, they're half of that equation. It takes two to make you. So go thank them. And we all know, in terms of creating children, bearing children, caring for it's the giving birth, probably nobody, it's debatable, but we all know deep down in our hearts that fathers do the heavy lifting. Even when it comes to childbirth, debatable. Again, who's got the most difficult, who's it the hardest on, I'd say it's hardest on the baby, you know what I mean? It's easy for you and me to just say you're fine. It's between the men and women, it's debatable, but who out of the three individuals, or depending on how many babies you have, maybe they're twins, triplets, doesn't matter, who's got the most difficult task? I'd say it's the babies. I'd say it's the babies. They come out, it's hella difficult. It's a brand new room, brand new people, you know what I mean? They're claiming you, hopefully. And even in that case, you're still crying. So it's you come out, it's mostly going to be challenging for you. But other times it's children have it the hardest, babies have it the hardest, and then it's fathers, and then sure, mothers, 9 months of, mothers carry one child in their belly, fathers carry, what is it, millions? So who's millions versus one? Who's carrying more? Who's doing more lifting? On a regular basis, numbers, baby. Millions versus one or two or even three or even 8 or 9, it's still millions. So if we're just looking at numbers for what they are, I'd say, so congratulations to all the fathers out there. How do you become a father? A lot of people are confused these days. It's not difficult. If you're confused by everything that's, because you're bombarded by so much information, sometimes just the good solid facts, like how do you become a father, it's very easy. I'll break it down for you in case you guys are having a difficult time fathering out there. So to father, you're gonna have to, depends on your education. If you've been told to strap it for safety, I need you to forget everything, just throw it out. Whatever precautionary measures you're using, throw that out, because that's the hindrance essentially. You're like, it's not working, because you're protected. Fathers are the OG soldiers of life. Daddy, feel me? Going in there, just ransacking a place, or going there, just raw dogging it. You feel me? Going there and taking a dip, soaking for a while, and letting it sit there. Because people, it's easy. You can go in and out, but for the people who are committed and stay in, that's how you become a father. So in case there's any discrepancy, in case there's any misunderstandings out there, it takes a man and a woman, and that's how you father, baby. So, if you're wondering, should I do it, should I not do it, it's completely up to you. It's completely up to you. Maybe you're not a father, but maybe you have a father. Maybe that's how you got here. Just a guess, just a wild guess. What do I do for Father's Day to, make that day a little bit special? How about giving them some room? If you're still living with your folks, and that's completely cool, but what about giving them some room? You know what I mean? He doesn't care. Take the key. Take the car, take the key, go to the movies, go to your friend's house, have a sleepover. It doesn't even sleep in the car. He doesn't care. He really doesn't. He just needs some alone time with him and moms, because he wants to get down again. And recreationally too, not just for, it's not out there, oh, is he gonna make me another sister or a brother? Oh, it's not about you. It's about your dad, or at least it was. It passed. It was really quick, just like that. One day, half a day, a weekend, a solid day, So give him some privacy. And how do you make it special? So that it, make sure your mom's got that Brazilian, dude. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. What kind of gift can I get? He's already got the best gift. Your mom's box is the best gift. It's already been unwrapped. He knows what it is. But you go ahead and give your mom a Brazilian, and keep it squeaky clean, so that daddy, next thing you know, later that evening you get home, or the next day or next couple of days, take the weekend off. You come back, how was it? It was great. Is what he'll say. Thank you. You know, so that's just, and it doesn't even cost much. Dude. You can do it at home. DIY Brazilian backs your mom, dude. It's why outsource everything? You know what I mean? And you've been there before. Most of you guys, most of you gals, most people, unless we're talking about them C-section babies. What up? C's up, baby. That's what it is. But otherwise, most of you guys are familiar with the area. So go back there, clean it up, and then leave the fortress alone so that, you know, they can go to town a little bit. It's so annoying every time you guys, you know, every time he wants to get on with mom, you're there, you're being that cock block. Stop being a cock block. He's trying to put the moves on mom, he's trying to mac it on mom, trying to be putting the mac on the moms, you know what I'm saying? 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and go to bed. If you're still young, even if you know what I mean, if you're like 30, go to bed, dude. If you're 30, if you're 25, 30, go to bed, dude. 7 to give them some downtime. That's how you can make it up to daddy-o for all the things, all the sacrifices that he's made. So, you know, take the car out for a car wash, you know, clean it up, bring it back nice and clean. What else could you do for daddy-o? You know, you could start taking over the, you know, little by little. Start with the small stuff first. I should say this. Give him a hug. Give him a big old hug. Tell him you love him. Squeeze him. And through the hugging, let him know that you love him, but also through the hug, kind of put it out there. You don't even say anything, but hug him firmly, just so, you know, let him know that you love him, but at the same rate. And then if any games or, you know, sporting events were to go down one-on-one, you're just letting him know that you can take him now. It's, you know, and it's funny how the tables turn, but that's just what it is, big dog. You know, start, you know, just be like, I could end you right now. I'm not gonna, because you're my dad, but I could if I wanted to, because it's been a lot of years. You've been eating that protein. You're sucking on mom's tits in the child rearing years. You're eating that broccoli and chicken breast right now. You're hitting the show him the amount of, you know, be like, this is for you, dad. Just hug him, let him know he's safe under your watchful eye. Speaking of watchful eyes, you know, other things you could start doing for daddy-o is hinting, or at least showing up, or at least, you know, taking a conversation there. If there's a family business, hey, pops, I want to be in the family business, is what you'll say. All right? Get in there. You wanna let them know that you can manage things. You can mismanage things easily. If you're a lady, oh man, because that not to say, you know, mismanagement, not to like a manager who's a lady, not mismanage. You know what I'm talking about, a lady manager, ladies. God damn. But you know what I'm talking about, fellas. Get in there. Let him know that everything will be okay, and that his enemies are now your enemies.
It was Bazzini all along.
You want to let him know that you're in the loop. You want to let him know that you're in the loop, that everything's taken care of. Man, you know, that's the thing. I part of me, I don't have it, you know, it's like there's a little part of me that's like, oh, you know, if you have a father, I got a stepdad, but he's not around, like we're not in the same, you know, region. And you know, I've talked about this before. I lost my dad at 20, which sucks, because it's like, at that point, if you get a stepdad, they're like, you know, you're past the point of playing catch with another grown dude, you know what I mean? So it's like, it is what it isn't, you know what I mean? You could always go play catch with an older dude, no problem. But so it's like, you know, part of me does wish that we could have had that, like, oh, we, you know, but things are now different, way different. But there's a little part of me that just, you know, watches The Godfather. I'm like, oh man, I want to step in, and not really. I had no intention of stepping in and like taking over the family business or what, but like, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, slipping in there, going to a couple of meetings. There are no meetings, but you know what I'm talking about. Just have your dad sit down and like you want to like you've got things handled, you know, and like there was a scene in The Godfather, you know, Michael's talking to his dad, Mr. Corleone, and Corleone, he's an older fella now. He's retired now, so he's going through all the things that Michael's got to do, and Michael's already like, it's been taken care of. I wish I had that moment where I'm like, it's been taken care of. It's been taken care of. You know what I mean? It's nowhere near taken care of right now, but like it's been taken care of. It's been taken care of right now. Don't worry about it, pops. Here, drink some wine. Just pour out a bottle of wine for Daddy-O. Just chugga, 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 chugga. Bonding time with dads who are still around. And yeah, man. So, you know, hug your dad, squeeze him, let him know who's got his back. But that's, you know, that's just dads. That's dads be doing dads. You know, shout out to dads. So it was Happy Father's weekend. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to anybody out there who's a father, you've now become a new father. Congratulations. Whether you're planning on it, you weren't planning on it, it doesn't matter. You're in it now. You're in it now. Commit 100, lean in, commit 100%. You know what I mean? Be the best daddy that you can be. And as for your boy, you know, I'll talk the talk. I ain't gonna walk the walk anytime soon, though. You know what I mean? There's a little bit like, I feel it. It's brewing up in me as I've been the type, you guys know me. The fam who's been with me, the gang who's been with me, you know me. I don't like children. I've never wanted to father a child. I've never, you know. But there is a little bit of, for me, it's been a huge improvement. I'm opening my mind to the idea. You know, it's not so bad if it were to happen down the line. Whereas this thought never even existed. And this is a recent thought for your boy. So you know what I mean? Not that I'm ever like, it's not even a priority or anything, but I'm just saying. So, you know, if you're out there, if you've just become a father, congratulations. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You can do this. You're not alone. You got your wife. You got yourself. And then there's the kid that's going to come along. Next thing you know, he or she is helping out. Like I said, with the family business. The best model is have lots of babies. If you're going to be in it, have lots of babies. 5 to 10, 15 babies. Get the most bang out of your buck. That's what it is. Don't just go in there, half a baby. These days it's so expensive to have one full baby. I'm gonna have a 0.5 baby. You know, and that's fine. I'm cool with 0.5 of a baby. But if you're gonna do something, do it. Commit right. You know, just do it. Just do it and get at least one full baby, dude. I've seen babies, 0.25 baby. Why? It's the times, inflation, 0.25 baby. What is that? 0.75 baby. 0.88 baby. Barely even full babies anymore. You don't even see it anymore. And I get it. Me, myself, I've just opened up to I've opened myself up to opening up to the idea of a potential baby down the line. But so like I'm at like 0.0000001 baby. So I get it. If you're out there doing fraction of a baby, I don't blame you, dude. Ladies, but that's at least you guys, you know, go in there full-heartedly. And if she's pregnant and she's keeping it, and you guys are married, it's already too late, dude. It's too late. You're in it to win it. You know, hopefully that baby will be something you can be proud of. But that's hence the laying of the eggs in the multiple baskets. Same baskets, just lay different eggs. Because like I've mentioned this before, it is really hard to put all your hopes and dreams into just one child. You want to have at least, if you're gonna do it, like I said, commit. So, you know, 0.5, 0.75 baby, not gonna cut it, fam. You want to go into like full force. You want to just make sure, like, you know, one of them might become an athlete, one of them might become an academic of sorts, a scholar of sorts, a smarty pants of the family. One other one's maybe in the, you know, somewhere in the law, or like, you know, you want somebody in medicine, law. You want somebody who's and man, get a baby who's good with finances. Get a baby you bring out. You're like, I'm having babies left, right, and center, Rob, and I don't know what should I be telling my baby. What should my babies be doing? And as a person, as a person who's not fathered a child, as a person who's, you know, with all my experience, I can tell you that, you know, the best thing to do for make sure one of your babies is going to end up in, what I'm trying to say is in finance, dude. In finance, man, so that, you know, you want to have a accountant. You want to have a baby who's got that, you know, financial literacy. Talk about interest rates, talk about, you know, recessions, talk about depressions, talk about interest hikes, yeah, talk about bubbles, these things. Baby comes out, bubbles start, just it starts early. They're a sponge, and guess what, they just came from one bubble. So you introduce them to the concept, it'd be fully innate and natural. It'll just come to them. You don't even need to do too much explaining. You talk about bubbles, baby's like, I gotcha. Been in one for 9 months, crying out loud. Who's got the toughest task in the room? The babies. So, you know, invest wisely and also stop investing altogether. That's what I say, dude, because the markets, man, the markets are weird out there. And I don't know too much about markets, but that's all I know. That they're weird. We've been seeing a little bit of it. I think hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be seeing more of it, because you don't want just a little bit of it. Whatever it is that you most of the times, more is more with people. So it's like, if we're going down, if we're spiraling down, let's go down, all the way down, or up, dude. I don't know. It's all a spiraling effect. At the end of the day, you go down one side, you come out on top from the other end. So it really doesn't. It's, you know, it's win some for the banks. It's the win some partially in a moment of time, and then, oh, if you're just an average person out there, it's mostly just, oh, holding on so you don't lose some. God, you gotta hold on tight. So, you know, invest in all sorts of, you know, I've been hearing of the markets going down, like the old school OG, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, dudes, going down, going up, and then going down. Up, down, mostly down now. And then the interest rates, I've been hearing for the banks for a little while, they're like, come get the loans for the mortgages or the houses that are incredibly just priced out of anybody's means of attaining them. But nonetheless, dude, they were selling you houses, you know, for millions of dollars. They're like, come get it, decent interest. And then now it's like not so decent interest. I was talking to a fella who was probably in his 80s, I want to say. And he was talking about how the interest rates are going up to around 8 or 9% from, again, I'm not in the market, I'm just going by word of mouth, what he said, 8 or 9%. And he referenced that back to the time around the 80s when they were doing the same thing. So 70s, 80s, it's decades of just, you know, it's precarious numbers games. So, you know, you want a baby who knows numbers, fam. And that's why you have many babies. You don't want to just go in there with one, so that, not to say one, again, at least have one. The 0.5 babies, that's right. If there's a line to be drawn, I'll use the umbilical cord to draw it, baby, and it's at 1. You know what I mean? You can't have no 0.5 babies coming in here just half and wah. It's not even a wah, wah. It's wah. Like, what do you want, baby? Ah, damn. Not even full cries anymore. But those are babies, man. What are you gonna do? The thing is, fam, there are lots of things that we should be tackling together. You know, there's yeah, because this is my world. Again, I'm just like, again, learning everything, going along. But one of the things I really wish we could tackle properly, and like, you know, is housing affordability, fam. Housing affordability. Because right now, if you're a millennial fella or a lady, if you're single, and you wanted to buy a home, unless you're coming from, you know, a background where the family is capable of providing you with a nice lump sum for the down payment, or at least supporting you somehow, you know, being that co-signer on the dotted line, you got that, you know, put your name on the dotted line, daddy-o. That's, you know, that's what it is. If you've got that, you know, that's fine. You can. But if I'm just talking about like a single fellow, I'm just talking about one individual, fella or lady, the buying of a house is become like, buying a house is like, if it's as if you're playing a video game And this game has been amped up to the level where there is nobody's getting to the final boss, and the final boss is the, I guess, the bank or the mortgage lenders and what have you. It's just many levels. You got many levels. It's really strange the way it works, and I don't know why we do these things, but like buying something that you'd have to get a mortgage for 25 to 30 years minimum it's going to take you, and we're talking again millions of dollars to be paid off. Who's going to do it? There's a lot of people out there who believe in themselves in the beginning, and that's great. You got to believe, baby, but that's, and then life happens, and it's, yeah, life happens, and people, oh man, we didn't expect these mortgages to be so, they're bad. They're pretty bad. Mortgages are bad. And I don't know too much about banking, so that's why I'm like, let's fix this somehow. But I don't got the answers. I don't know what it is. So let's keep doing what we've been doing up until now for a good old, at least easily we've been doing it for 100 years. You wanna be a little bit more on the safer side. We've been doing it for at least 50 years. It's longer than that, but you know what I mean. So if we want to fix it, let's keep doing the same thing that we've always done, ride it out for a couple of years, get in a nice decade, hit it with a tight recession, reel it back in, average folks lose, the banks win, and then keep on bumping it out, baby. Fucking get your, it's not, and then that's the thing too. The retarded prices keep going up. And then they crash a little bit, and then that's how they get the next batch of people. But oh, now it's crashed. Now you gotta. Now, I was talking to this fella, 80 years old. He asked me, he's like, "How do you think? How do you feel the economy's going?" I'm like, I don't have too much of a point of reference. Being 32, I'd say I've not that much, not as experienced as that fellow. So I'm like, overall, I'm an optimist. Economy, how's it doing? It's alive. I think it's not like a living thing, or is it? There are signs of life out there, but this thing keeps on fluctuating. So I'm an optimist. Regardless, prices keep on going up. We go up. How, you ask? I don't have the answers. Really, I really don't. But that's I say I think if we elected a handful of individuals, maybe one or two people, and put them in, public offices, I think one individual, maybe at most it'll be like a 2 individual sort of tax that we could solve it. We'll put 1 or 2 people who will skim through the material, because that's, you need at least, put in a person in there somewhere who will come out there and and make a solid speech as how we're going to be tackling the housing unaffordability. And that's the thing too. So it's, and I believe in like hard work. I believe in also, I believe in life, so I don't think you should buy anything that you'd have to pay off for 30 years, fam. 30 years? That is insane. That's insane to me. That is insane. I don't know why we've collectively given to this idea, this insanity of yes, $1 million for a shoebox. And if that were to go down a little bit, you're like, yes, 800,000 still next to yes. Even at 500,000, oh, 500, I gotta get in the market. And generationally, it keeps going up high. Keeps going. How do we cap it, fam? That's why you're finding out today with you guys and gals. We're gonna get at the bottom of this. We're gonna get lower at least. We'll go lower, dude. Maybe not to the bottom of it, but we'll go in. We're going down, baby. No way. Things are looking up. Things are looking bright. But we gotta tackle these things seriously. How are we gonna handle this? Because that's the thing. The markets, they're fine and like whatevs. And then unforeseen events happen You know, a market crash, a housing market crash, a stock market crash, global emergency of sorts, heavy rainfall, no rainfall. Uh, Things are, everything's just like it's a guessing game. If you're for the most majority of people, if you're in the know, if you're like in the no, if you're in the no, like let's say, you got access to insider trading. You got access to, what stocks to buy, what to invest in, when to invest, when to put it in, and when to pull out. When to put it in, let it soak. When to, pull out. It's time to pull out, dude. And it's like seconds, 2 seconds, millions lost, millions gained, is what they'll say. I can't say that because I have not experienced, but that's it's so exciting. Not really, but we've made it a thing. There's a thing that we like, whether it's through movies or whether it's actually there's people living it too. People getting grown men and women who at one point in their childhood had dreams and aspirations of doing something fun with life. But then somewhere along the line, they're like waving a fucking little paper thing, looking at 4 clocks, and there's charts and reds and greens and arrows and sell, buy the dip, consolidate. It's like, ugh. Just makes me want to throw up a little bit and then eat it back up, because regurgitation, baby. You gotta regurgitate. That's always fun. Shout out to all the cows out there. Moo moo. What I'm trying to say is that, how do we correct this? Do we go down the same path, fam? And I'll leave it up to you guys, because frankly, it takes all of us. It takes all of us. What do you guys think we should do? Do we wait for the market to crash and then have a lot of people suffer? Losing money on their houses, losing, and you're like, why is it this way? Why wouldn't it be this way if we've spent the past 2 years printing out cash because we told people to sit at home, fam? Things were precarious before too. Don't let that be the excuse they blame it on, dudes, ladies. Feel me? Because it's easy to point a finger at a situation and be like, well, it's because of that situation that we're in the no, I don't think it's just that one little thing that put us over the waterfall. But my point is that how do we not repeat the same things? Let's toss out a few ideas. And I'd like to hear more from you guys and gals out there. Write a comment, because that's the thing. By talking, I know it may seem silly, and it most likely is, but I believe in the power of talking and yapping. Because that way we'll at least weed out the not so bueno ideas, and then somebody might somewhere in there throw in a better idea, and then we can at least try that. And if that doesn't work, at least we can be like, we tried it. But we keep doing the same thing over and over and over. You know what I mean? Another thing you could do for your dad is, get him if he doesn't have that vasectomy yet, get him the ribbed condoms. The ribs it's ribbed for him, but the pleasure is all yours. Moving on, fam. How do we fix the housing market? I don't know, dudes, but all I know is millions of dollars. Millions of doll hairs is way too much. 30 years of paying for something. Way too much, dudes. Way too much. Way too much. 30 years? Because that's the thing. It gets me I get cheesed when I hear like other generations prior to us having like reasonable mortgage. I bought a house for 50 grand. I bought a house for 70 grand. And you're like, and yes, this is important to, and it should be important to all you guys and gals out there. We should, a few things I get really passionate and excited about. One, numero uno, always freedoms, dude. Freedom, always, all day, every day. And up there amongst, top, to be safe, top 10, freedom, having a right and access to owning property, fam. that's the thing. Here's the thing, because if you don't own property, you're going to be renting. If you're going to be renting, it's just money that you will never see again, and it'll go month to month. It'll go month to month to month to month to month until you evaporate. There's a little bit more. So there should be a sense of security that your place of residence at one point should be paid off. You should be safe and secure so that so that you're not out there just constantly going. Property ownership is huge, because otherwise you'd just be dependent on the state, and I don't like that. I don't like, and I will do everything in my power, and I know I will get there, but I want this to be something that's feasible and manageable for everybody out there. And I'm nowhere near it right now, but I know just me myself, I will try, and down the line I will definitely get myself a little, and it's not a priority right now, but it is a thought that should be at the forefront of our frontal lobe, at least for a little while, because we ask, it's easy to just point to situations and be like, oh, how did this social upheaval, or how did this how did this person lose their mind, how did this person get up and do something crazy, how did that lady do this, how did that, it's through people, a bunch of it's different aspects, but it starts from having a safe place to reside in. And I'm very blessed, I'm very thankful and grateful for I've got a roof over my head, I can manage my life, that is wonderful. But a lot of people out there struggle, and a lot of people are always talking about, oh, the housing market is so expensive to get in, and rent's not even cheap, so it's not like you're winning if you're, and that's the thing. I really want to put that out there. How do we fix it? There are a ton of ideas. There's definitely alternative houses in terms of the way it's being constructed. Maybe that's a way we could, maybe that's a way we could tackle it, you know what I mean? Lego houses, laser printed houses. There are these, they exist out there. It's not like they don't exist, and they're just as good, if not sometimes even better. So why do we, is it what is it? Is it the cost of the, and why does it cost so much? I just want to know, why does it cost so much to purchase a home? Why is it millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars? With it just baffles me, because you want a society that is safe, secure, and for the most part we're doing really well. It's not like we're not, but areas that can be improved. I'm not here to be like, oh no, we got it really good. I'm just saying ways that we could improve things, possibly, if we can. If you guys are into improvement, if you're not into improvement, then you let me know, and we could just, if you let me know, dude, we'll crank it up. We'll crank it up easy. If this is not of interest, we will just, oh man, market, keep going higher. Bubbles, create more bubbles, And that's the thing, man. It's precarious times. That's why you saw people in the midst of the pandemic, everybody like, oh, let me dip into crypto, even though I have no idea what crypto is. And a lot of people lost a lot of money. A lot of people lost a lot of money. A small portion of people, a very, very small portion, probably made some money, a lot of money, very small portion. But those mother lovers are, again, the insider trading folks who have access to info, so that's no bueno. I'm just talking about something that's like, a little bit solid, a little bit tangible, a little bit clear. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't make sense. I think a reasonable price for a house should be no more than $150,000. Just putting it out there, and if you think that's ridiculous, well, so is $1.5 million, so is $1 million, so is 800,000, so is 700,000, so is 600,000, so is 400, 150. I can. It makes sense. It just makes sense. 100 to 150. It makes sense. But that's the thing. We've gotten rid of a lot of industry, and a lot of people tend to view and utilize the housing as a way to make money. It's not just become a place or a source of residence for people. It's become a source of people doing Monopoly, and I get it. It's good. A little bit because I'm talking about, oh, can we move towards a way of doing ethical capitalism, if that makes any sense? You know what I mean? So that it's. But again, this just may be, again, I'm just one person. This is just, perhaps, maybe it's just something that's of concern to me. Maybe it's for a lot of you guys. Maybe it's not important. But I think if it's not important to you right now, it'll be important to you when your kids start having ideas of buying in their own properties and whatnot. And if you're like, man, they can rent forever. If that was the case for everybody, and I don't think that would make me happy either, because that's like a communist mentality where you don't own anything, the state owns everything. I don't like that. I don't like that idea. It's not played out too well in history. It's not played out in places before, so I don't like that idea. I do like the idea of property ownership and, yeah, making it out of reach for millions of people. It's a sign of the times. So what are we doing? So yeah, I feel bad because if it were to crash, and it feels like and this is not a new topic, we've been talking about this for some time now, but you're looking at the market and everybody's talking about it. Whoever I see in more or less ways talks about these things. So there's a portion of me that's a little bit curious, but anywho, you guys let me know what you think. What do you guys think should be some possible solutions? You know, because if the housing is up in the millions, then the wages that we're making is just nowhere near on par. Even if you're making $15 an hour, even if you're making $20 an hour, it's just, if you're single, even if you're two people, it is almost near impossible to save up anything. So we should be concerned about these things, you know, or at least talking about them. And yeah, I don't know why it has to be such a. Yeah, I don't know how we went from once upon a time in a not so distant past where you have, again, generations speaking with other generations, i.e., a fellow who's 70 or 80 years old talking to your dude who's in his early 30s, reminiscing about a time where their mortgages were, 50 grand, 70 grand, 100 grand. Makes sense. And they paid it off 15 years. Makes sense. Most often at those times, it was just one person working too. It wasn't even both. At the time, it was mostly one person was working. The other person, the female, used to, in most cases, used to be, lady of the house. Some worked, of course, some worked, but it wasn't like you were. Now it's like the cost of life has gone up so high that you need to reach out and be like, well, I'm busy. I'll read articles like dads are now after going through the pandemic. Dads who stayed home and took care of the children and also worked from home and this and that are now having to go back to work and are finding, similarities in what the moms were, I guess, talking about always, for a long time, having to work outside and also be like, oh, I got to juggle everything at home. So dads have gotten a bigger glimpse into that life as well. And it's crazy that we've all become so occupied with work and money that people are having a difficult time even taking care of their own kids. It's like, oh, I need to, send my kids to all sorts of, it's good to send your kids to daycare. I'm not saying don't send your kids to daycare, but I'm saying we get so occupied with attaining money, so to pay for the bills, that we lose out on the old life experience, the people that we're supposed to be spending time with, the family. That's what it's all about, family. And we're a gang, and we look out for each other. That's why it's important for me to find a way, if we can, together, so that we don't repeat the same things. Because that's, it's like, when are we going to stop going in with the Ponzi schemes? And the housing market has become a Ponzi scheme. It's become, it's so icky, dude. It's just, So yeah, and if you were debating whether, if you're on the fence as to whether or not you should buy the dip in the crypto and the NFTs and what, don't get yourself involved in any of that shit. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. I've never been. a financial advisor on, for anybody, and except the time that I was a financial advisor in the automotive sector. But aside that time period in my life, right, like this is not I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do with their money or life, but all I'm trying to say is that be careful out there. It is dangerous and precarious times, but also good times. I'm happy. I'm alive and kicking. Very grateful for the position that I'm in. Very thankful. I had a great weekend. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, the past 48 hours went by again fairly quick because I was busy with the old painting behind me. And, it's it's just progress is what that is. And I hope to get better at that as well. But that's the thing. I'm sending out emails, trying to make contact with the comedy clubs. And a lot of comedy clubs in Toronto are still been in touch with a whole bunch of them, a handful of them. Still not enough. Nobody's doing amateur hour as far as I'm concerned, so there's one place for the time being. So your boy's making the contacts, trying to get some sets going in, get more practice. But that's the thing, man. I'm feeling good. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there, whoever's celebrating. If you're not celebrating, maybe you don't have a reason to celebrate. Maybe that's fine. And maybe your dad was a scumbag. Maybe your dad wasn't always there, and maybe if he was there, he was abusive. Ugh, no bueno. So, and those are rarities. It's not the most common case, but if that's the case, I feel for you. And hey, you know what? You turn that around and you break the cycle. You be the best dad. You become the best dad in the world. Nothing shows the old man who won at life if he wasn't there. You be there for your kids, and and then rub it in his face from afar and be like, "Oh, this is what you could have had," and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm so old and honorable. Can I be a part of the fam?" And that's gonna be all on you. Are you gonna be, the bigger man to be like, "All right, fine. Yes, you couldn't be part of fam, even though you were a dick for like the majority of our life. But your dad, now you're here." Or you could be like, you know what, fuck it. It was too much, and no, fuck that. You're not gonna be, and it's not even about being a bigger man. You've done your job. You've done your job, and you're already the biggest man. So fuck that dude if he's that dude. But rare cases. But in those cases, sometimes, man, the outcome is that you become this amazing go-getter. So, all in all, do you thank the guy? Do you think he's a piece of shit? Would we have had a Michael Jackson if there wasn't a Joe Jackson, is all I'm trying to say. And he was present, so it's not even about being there, it's just how you're there. Some people are there, but it's like they're not there. Some people aren't there, and it's like, oh my God, it's like you're always there, if that makes any sense. So, take everything that I say with a whole bag of bath salts. Safest, because everybody goes, oh, take it with a pinch of salt. Take it with bath salts, dude. Safest salt out there. And we're growing. That's all we're doing. We're stretching, we're growing, we're learning. There was, it's, I feel like, I don't know, maybe you guys can relate to this I feel like as of late, I've been faced with different challenges, but at the same rate, I am happy about it because I think I've managed to face those challenges a little bit better. And that just means less crying for your boy, which is, I cry fairly easily. And it is what it is. But maybe I'm a little bit emotional, maybe I'm a little bit, it is what it is. But certain challenges that, and it's not about I'm alright with challenges, sometimes everything compiling. But anywho, my point is that whatever you're going through right now, I just want you to know you're not alone out there. I got your back. Go out there, go after your dreams, keep on keep on showing up, baby. That's all I gotta tell you. You know what I mean? And if you're facing challenges, stay challenged, baby. That's how we're gonna get tougher. That's how we're gonna get stronger. That's how the extra thick skin comes in. You know, because like you don't want that like soft skin, baby. You want to go to the doctor. They want to like grab a little bit of blood sample from you. You're gonna want to break that needle from the thick skin you've developed over the years. So like, trying to stick you with that needle, but nothing's going in. Why? Thick skin. That's right. And it's beneficial in some circumstances, kind of a detriment in others. But again, glass half full mentality. Nothing comes in handy like a rough skin dude. You're a bad boy or a bad gal riding on that motorcycle, popping a wheelie, dude. Popping two wheelies. You're hovering, dude. The motorcycle's off the pavement. Holy shit, we're gonna crash right now. But I'm not worried. Why? Extra thick skin, dudes. Extra thick skin. I will. That's what it is. I'll tumble and fall, dude. I won't even get scraped. All the pavement, the cement, the gravel will get scraped off that's the toughness of our skin. Look how tough I am and you are. Toughness comes from within. Here, in there somewhere. So reach in there. If you don't want to reach in there, fine. You don't have to go in there, dude. You don't have to go in there. You know what I mean? Mentally reach in there. Zen City all day. And then just think of every situation that's been thrown at you. Just you wanna be like fire. Yeah, I think that's what Bruce Lee said, be like fire. Water? Water resistant, baby. That's you and me. Not taking baths, not taking showers, not drinking water, not going swimming, not standing outside when it rains. What is that, snow? Slush? Ugh. Keep it away. Why? Because we're resilient that way. That's why. While everybody else is out there getting soaked, wet, drenched, you and I, dry as a dried up well. More dried up than a 900-year-old witch's womb. Fucking dry, dude. There's spider webs in there. But guess who's drier? You and I. And that's how you win at life, by staying dry. Others say be like water and stay moist. I say keep it fucking dehydrated. Dehydration is the key to success. Because if you're overhydrated, think of all the negatives. Constantly having to run to the bathroom. Sweating. You're probably sweating a lot because you got to get rid of the bottom. The water's got to come out one way or another. So you're like, oh, but I thought you got to drink a lot of water. You do and you don't. You do and you don't. That's why I always drink coffee. Brought to you by nobody yet, but it could be anybody's coffee. Could be in this mug. Look at this mug, and then look at this mug, and see if you see yourself somewhere in between here. There's a deal in there somewhere. So easily I could put a name, but I'm not gonna. Not yet anyway. Why? Because this shit's fucking free, fam. You come in here, no sponsors, yet, but soon, one day. Who's it gonna be, fam? Is it gonna be? I'm not even gonna name them. You decide. Look at this. This could be your product in here and in here and out there. And see. Thirsty for a cup of coffee? Oh, I feel so caffeinated right now. Get caffeinated with extreme caffeinated coffee. This that shit that they feed you when you go into the jungles, fam. When you go into the jungles of a foreign land and there's EDM going on in the background and you're mixing concoctions that you were like, oh man, maybe that's probably not the best thing to mix for my heart rate. But you'll be ramped up. You'll drink this potential product later down the line. And you'll find yourself grappling a tiger, fighting a bear, fighting a kangaroo, but then also not fighting a kangaroo. Like you go in there and you're so jazzed up and you're so just you're ooh, this coffee's so good. You take a sip, oh, you're in the pouch, dude. Kangaroo can't even fight you anymore. Now you become like one. Now you're one. You're infused with the you're the kangaroo man. Oh yeah, I can see it happening now. So keep in mind we're growing, we're learning, and I want to thank everybody who's been with me from day one. We're getting close to the 2-year mark. It's almost there. It was not this previous August, but the August before that. So this coming August will be 2 years that we've been together, fam. Thank you for all the love and support. Whoever's been with me, love and appreciate you out there. You know who you are, holding it down. And anybody who's just joining us, you're like, what is this? What isn't this? What is this not? What is this, that other thing? What is it? It is what it is, first of all. And it's a show about everything and nothing. It's a fun little silly podcast. We talk about everything. Like, everything. Literally, and nothing. Nothing. There will be days where we discuss absolutely not a goddamn thing. And if there will be a day where we don't discuss anything, nothing. Like, we'll discuss things. But it will be about nothing. Like, nothing. And then other days, full on reverses everything. Just everything. All over the place. Gets messy. So go ahead, grab dad, sit on his lap, because that's as close as you're going to get to his nutsack again. And, I guess give a shout out to moms too, but they've already had their day. They've had their day. And every day is Mother's Day. Not really. But you know what I mean? It was Dad's day, so now, just high five his wiener a little bit. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for his little wiener, or big wiener, depending on, not there in your dad's pants, dudes. I don't know what he's working with. Frankly, I don't care. As long as it's been working, as long as you're here, and we're all queer together, keep on queefing, baby. Keep on queefing in the free world, and I'll see you guys back here again on Wednesday. Where can you find these videos? YouTube, subscribe so you get the full-length videos. Instagram, you like getting clipped, stay on Instagram. Hit the follows if you like. It's a thing. It'll help the algorithm. The algorithm needs help, goddammit. If anybody needs help during these precarious times, it is the algorithm. And then you want to check out another platform. I got 3 platforms. No other person has been working on as many platforms as, okay, there are others, fine. You twisted my arm. Let's stop with the twisting of the arm. There are other people on there too, and support them. But also you can support your boy. And yeah, I'm very blessed, very thankful for everybody. Love you all. Go get it out there. Go get it out there. Go stand outside that unaffordable house and stare at that unaffordable house and be like, one day, I want to get inside you. And chances are, depends on the neighborhood, fam. But aim for the moon, land on the stars. Oh, fake star. It was a satellite. Now we're all sinking. But there's so many up there. But there's plenty of room for everybody. Love you all. Think about it. Don't think about it. We'll nip it in the bud. We'll fix it together. It's not to be fixed. It's already perfect, isn't it? And that is life. I'll see you guys back here on Wednesday. Talk about it. Peace out.